This is Mac OS Ken.
Evercore thinks it hears an iPhone SuperCycle. Apple services catch Olympics fever. And comings and goings for Apple TV Plus. It is Monday, the 22nd of July, 2024. I was thinking about singing the whole show. That's why I laugh. I'm not going to sing any of it. Not today. It is Monday, the 22nd of July, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by 1Password Extended Access Management, your solution for IAM and MDM. Learn more at onepassword.com/product/XAM. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Bold prediction from Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani. Apple 3.0 ran part of a note he wrote last Friday. According to survey data from his firm, close to half the people with iPhones that can't handle Apple Intelligence will upgrade for it when iPhone 16 rolls around. Despite the service being limited geographically and linguistically, it sounds like he sees such upgrades as a global phenomenon. Effectively, says his note, with all the appropriate caveats, we think there is sizable pent-up demand for a SuperCycle provided Apple Intelligence lives up to the demo initial expectations from WWDC. Our survey data suggests that nearly half, 46% of users that aren't on iPhone 15 generation are likely to upgrade to iPhone 16 to leverage the added functionality from Apple Intelligence. He goes on to say this could imply one of the more sizable upgrade cycles we have seen, and given the 1.2 billion iPhone install base, it could comfortably translate to double-digit revenue growth for Apple on a multi-year basis. Double-digit growth year after year would blow the doors off of Wall Street expectations. According to his note, the Street's expecting 4% revenue growth for iPhone in fiscal year 25, followed by 2% in fiscal year 26. Daryanani says the survey results caught his team by surprise, adding to their conviction that AI can be an iPhone SuperCycle driver. That said, they are not expecting it all at once. The full functionality will not be available until sometime in calendar year 25, notes the note, so instead of a massive December quarter, they're expecting a stronger for longer cycle where iPhone AI upside drives solid upside through fiscal year 25. That would be instead of the normally huge December quarter, with sales slowing until the following December quarter. Daryanani has an outperform rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $250. If you're a CarPlay user and a Google Maps devotee, get ready to be helpful. Apple Insider says Google Maps hazard and delay reporting is now available for Apple's in-car infotainment system. That's you reporting hazards and delays, not you being notified. When it is available, the report says drivers get an icon of a hazard sign. Tapping it brings up quick controls for reporting common issues, ranging from a crash or an object on the road to construction or a speed trap. The ability to report via CarPlay joins the Google Maps app for iOS, the Google Maps app for Android, and if you expect me to say Google Maps for Android Auto, I don't blame you, but no. Curiously, says the piece, incident reporting is still not being seen when Google Maps is connected to Android Auto. Oh, and you might not be seeing it either, even if you are a CarPlay user and a Google Maps devotee. When the story was posted on Friday, Apple Insider said it was apparently still rolling out, with no clear idea how long it would take to reach all users. Apple and its services are gearing up for the Paris Olympics. Mac Rumors has word on that front, starting with tweaks to Apple Maps. According to the report, some historic locations in the city are now being rendered in finer detail. All permanent Olympic venues are displayed as custom, hand-built 3D landmarks, according to the piece. Additionally, MacRumor says for the first time, the Maps app is displaying pop-up locations that include temporary venues, souvenir shops, and public gathering sites. Support for pop-up locations will help attendees find important places for the Summer Games. All of that and curated Maps guides as well. Those will lead tourists to restaurants, hotels, and shopping, with dozens of new guides from Le Bonbon, Le Fooding. Is that French? Really? Le Fooding? Radio France, Madame Figaro, and My Little Paris. Of course, most Apple hardware users won't be in Paris. For everyone, at the games or watching from a distance, Apple's highlighting content in the App Store. That'll include everything from stories spotlighting popular events, to mobile games and health and fitness apps with a sports-focused theme, to the official Paris 2024 Olympics app for following along. Well, that's one way to follow along. Here in the States, the games will be carried by NBC, so of course Peacock and the NBC Sports app are also suggested. There will also be shows featured in Apple Podcasts, an Olympics hub, and the Apple TV app, curated coverage in Apple News, and plans to highlight all sorts of French music in Apple Music. Well, that sounds okay. In short, throw a virtual rock at Apple services and it sounds like you will hit the Olympics. The pageantry starts at the end of this week. Opening ceremonies are set for Friday, the 26th of July at 7:30 p.m. in Paris, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, even though soccer starts on Wednesday. I don't know. You tell me. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, 1Password Extended Access Management. Think of your company's security like a park with well-laid paths. Those paths are the devices your company gives out, the apps they approve, the IDs your company is assigned. Then there are the ways people actually go, the trampled-down shortcuts that are the easiest way to get from point A to point B. Those are unmanaged devices, apps that aren't approved by IT, and IDs that really should have been temporary. Your security has those manicured paths covered, but who's minding what people are actually doing and using? That is where 1Password Extended Access Management comes in. It brings all those unmanaged devices, apps, and identities under your control, making sure that every user credential is strong and protected, every device is known and healthy, and every app is visible. 1Password Extended Access Management solves the problems traditional identity and access management and mobile device management miss. It's security for the way people work today. It's available now to companies with Okta and, coming later this year, to Google Workspace and Microsoft Entra. Check it out at onepassword.com/product/XAM. That's the number 1, onepassword.com/product/XAM. News of a new Apple TV Plus trial, and holy cow, is it specific. If you've got a PlayStation 4 or 5 and a PlayStation Network account, you can get a 3-month free trial of Apple's video streaming service. To take advantage, users will need to open the Apple TV app on their console and either enter their existing Apple ID or create a new one. No word in the piece on whether people who have had Apple TV Plus before can take advantage of the offer. After the 3 months, it'll start charging at $10 per month. Would-be freeloaders need to sign up by the 22nd of September. Did I say freeloaders? I meant people who want to try it out. If you're looking forward to the next season of the Big Door Prize, bad news, I'm afraid. I missed this a few weeks ago, but Variety ran a piece at the end of June saying the Apple TV Plus series has been canceled. And finally today, sad though things may be for the Morpho machine, there are 3 Apple TV Plus titles kind of crushing it in the most recent streaming charts. Cult of Mac has had a look at the latest from Real Good and Just Watch. I gotta say it would be neat if they would sync up the times covered. They're staggered by a few days, making it difficult to account for premiere dates and how long a show's been viewable when a chart is made. Still, they do show trends for shows. For the week of the 11th of July, Real Good has 2 Apple TV Plus titles high on the list of shows streaming in the U.S. The Rashida Jones Robot Pal mystery Sunny shows up at number 3 on the list. Meanwhile, the Jake Gyllenhaal courtroom mystery thriller Presumed Innocent took second. On the Just Watch charts, things for Apple TV Plus are better, though more spread out. That chart has Presumed Innocent coming in 3rd and Sunny coming in 5th. And Just Watch folks are still watching Dark Matter. The sci-fi title squeaked into the U.S. top 10 at number 10 for the period from the 8th of July through the 14th. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by 1Password Extended Access Management. Learn more at onepassword.com/product/XAM. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.